Bad was the first one.
As a legislator, what's really been your passion? You know, that you've wanted to see fulfilled as you being a legislator, the thing that's really been closest to your heart to do?
Okay, well, number one in the services program has been the senior citizens. I have really loved working with them. When I first started to work and going out into the field, they were my favorites, and I just loved it, and I just stuck with it, and I have loved working for the seniors. But what has made me so proud of my past years of working is when we were planning like the cultural center. You know, back then we had no earthly idea how long it would take when we first started planning, how long it would take to obtain the funding to do that. And I have notes from way back in our meetings where we were making our 5-year projection plans and everything, and it was just, you know, it's just wonderful to know that everything is here now. Back then we were, you know, the hospital, the cultural center, and the alcohol drug program, the re-entry program, all of these things that we saw, that the WIC program, the food distribution program, all of these things we didn't have back then. And we were planning to have these things, and finally today, just look at what, and I just can't get over how, you know, we just keep adding the new services that we need, because that's what we're here for, is to work for that. We need to, I love going to the community services meetings to find out what those, because every area has a different need. All of you don't have the same need. I've just noticed that people in the different areas, they have different needs. And that's what we need to work for now, is to get that service provided wherever it's needed.
One thing that I've noticed is through our website, there's a lot of letters that come out from the legislators kind of talking, uplifting some of the things that have happened and what's going on. Could that not be a resource for a lot of our Chickasaw people to go in and read those letters and let you not only share some of the great things you're doing, but share some of your individual opinions about how you feel about you know, things that need to go on or happen in legislation? Could that not be a piece? Because it's readily available. A lot of you create those letters and put those up on the website. How do you feel about that maybe being a piece to also make your kind of voice known, that what's going on within the legislation, that you'd like to see the people see what's happening within it?
I'm sure that would be good, and we do need to look into that. That is a very good suggestion. You know, that we could look into that and maybe do that, because well, take me though. I'm older, and I'm not up on all this computer, you know, all of these websites and everything like that. But you know, we do need to look into that. It would be good, I think.
Okay, the lady.
Yes.
As being in a legislature for some time, do you think that there should be a set number of years consecutive that a legislature should be appointed?
No, because you know, you have to have the experience, and it takes a long time. Just like, you know, so many tribes, they're always struggling and having problems, but it's because their leadership is just being turned over every 2 years, 3 or 4 years, you know, and the new ones coming in, they have to learn how things are working and what to do and everything, and it kind of sets them back. And I just don't agree with that. I know some people do, and that they think that there should be a term limit on that, but personally, I don't.
Okay. Thank you.
Nancy, you were next, and then Mike next.
I was just going to ask you, because you got interrupted with your comments, if you had other comments you wanted to make at the beginning. As you were saying before, when we pass legislation, we always look at it and see how it benefits the people, and then you got interrupted because your time ran out. But did you have any other comments you wanted to say at that time?
Well, I just wanted to say, you know, that anytime that we get any piece of legislation that comes across our desk, we do individually. I don't know how, you know, the others do, but individually, each one of us, I'm sure, looks at this, and we ask ourselves, how is this going to benefit the people? And I know that we don't do anything that will not benefit the people. We always try to make our decisions on whether it will. And everything is always researched, and like the pieces of property that we buy or anything that we buy, you know, everything is figured out down to the very teeth. I mean, we know when we're going to be able to pay that back or pay it off, or how much money it's going to take to purchase that piece of property or building or whatever. And everything is really thought out in detail before it's passed. Yes, Mike?
When the Elder Assistance Program was established, was that one of the things that you presented to the legislature?
No, in fact, it started before I became a legislator. I became a legislator in '99, and we really started our feeding program in about '77, I think it was, wasn't it?
81.
Oh, it was '81. Okay. Well, I was thinking.
I opened the first Ada site January 4th, 1981. We started in at Stonewall at a site that belonged to the Housing Authority. We ran it 3 months. We continued to Stonewall till they did not have enough people to continue, and then we busted back into Ada after that.
But I did become involved with the senior feeding site right after I came to work in about '76. I was one of the first members of the Oklahoma City Food Bank, and we kind of started out with, you know, participating in the food bank in Oklahoma City, and it just kind of grew from there. And we learned, of course, then for the funding, Title VI for our feeding program, and that's when it started. And so that was before, you know, it got started before, but I was involved with some of it, you know. And then Lisa was a legislator, and she did write the bill that formed our elders advisory council, and that was a good piece of legislation, I think. She wrote that, and it was passed, and we formed the council. For the advisory council for the elders.
We've got the facilities, the nice new health center, and we're getting additional and enlarged senior sites. Is it time that we begin to staff those more fully so that more people can take advantage of these great facilities? And the auxiliary services that, like transportation for the people who need it to get to the new health facilities. I don't know whether that's a part of the legislature's responsibility, but is there a way that can be that we staff them?
That is in the plans. They do have that, but it is going to be down the road just a little bit. You know, it takes time, and they have to plan out their budget, you know, on how many they can afford. And it takes a lot of money to staff our doctors now because Ada is such a small town, so it's hard to get good physicians to come to Ada. We just can't. You know, we really have to work to get physicians to come to Ada. So that's been one of our problems, the reason why we can't be fully staffed. But it it will be full, that's our plans, because they, I'll use the dental department as an example. They put in all those extra chairs. I forgot how many chairs that we have now in the dental department. But they have that in the plan, it's just gonna be later on down the and we will, hopefully, we'll have everything on staff in the future.
Yeah.
Couple questions real quick. Do you think we talked about it a little bit here tonight, but do you think transparency within our government is a problem? And number two, would you think it was a good idea to broadcast the legislative sessions on the internet?
I don't believe that transparency is a problem, because we try to get out too much information every month. We try to give the people the information every month on all of our programs. And like when the budget is sent over to us for the legislature to approve, you know, we can see all of the line items that they have budgeted for. And then every month we get a financial report showing how much has been spent. It shows the line item, how much is allowed for that line item, how much we've spent that month, how much we've spent year to date, and how much is left that we have left in that budget. And every month we get that report. And so, you know, and it's published in the Chickasaw Times, you know, no, I wouldn't, I mean, I would support, if that's what they, you know, if that's what the people wanted, is to have our session, you know, I would support it, because, you know, I think if that's what if they're interested enough, if they want to see the legislature in action, it's okay with me.
Dean, what percentage of our seniors do you think have access or would have access in some way to see those televised internet information pieces about legislative meetings, and would a paper trail of information more detailed and say the Times be a better way for those seniors to see that versus, I mean, what do you think? Progress is progress, but
yeah,
we have to let
that percentage would be so low. They just, you know, using myself as an example, you know, they don't do that. They don't have those things. They don't have the computers. They don't have the things, and where they can receive the newsletters and everything, you know, things that we send out in the mail. They can receive that and read it, you know, but there's so many people that don't take benefit of it.
Betty?
It's just a comment. They would have access to it at the senior sites.
Senior sites, but seniors, all of our seniors don't go to those sites.
Well, but it would be
yes, it
an
would
opportunity
be
if they came, you know, if they made the effort to come.
Yes, they're making every effort to make it available at every site for every senior. And, but there's so many of them that do not, you
know how to use it.
Yeah,
No,
and they don't come to our and partake in our dinners either.